Number 8. Mark Fu. Mark Fu was at one point referred to as a surfing demigod. He achieved that status in January of 1984 when he ventured into the swell at Hawaii's Waimea Bay and rode waves which onlookers claim were in excess of 60 feet. A crashing wave broke his surfboard and he had to be rescued via helicopter, but he emerged from the crash otherwise unharmed. It's perhaps due to Fu's mythical standing in the surfing world that his death in 1994 shook the community. While riding a 20-foot wave at Mavericks, Fu experienced a seemingly harmless wipeout. As he tumbled underwater, the leash of his surfboard got caught in some rocks, and the current of an overhead wave prevented him from releasing his ankle strap. Fu's lifeless body was found in a lagoon a few hours later, with drowning and blunt force trauma to the head subsequently determined as the cause of death. Big wave is a variation of surfing that, much like its name would imply, is focused on waves that are at least 20 feet high. Athletes use boards of variable sizes to catch and ride them. Larger boards enable surfers to paddle faster to reach the wave and offer more stability, but their surfing speed and maneuverability are typically reduced. Some trace the origins of the sport to Hawaii in the early 1940s and 1950s. Images published in California newspapers of surfers on giant waves inspired practitioners in the US to flock to the island state. Then, in the early 1990s, an emerging practice would forever change the sport. Towing surfing involved a partner riding a jet ski who towed the surfer into faster moving waves. Paddling by hand had previously allowed athletes to take on waves that were usually in the 20-foot range. By using the tow line attached to a personal watercraft, and later to helicopters as well, surfers were able to use boards that were smaller and more maneuverable to catch waves that went up to 50 feet and beyond. The tremendous force of such a monstrous marine movement requires exceptional skill on the surfer's part. A wipeout in such cases can and has been fatal, even for seasoned big wave athletes. Number 7. ALEC COOKE. Due to his daredevil attitude and appetite for giant waves, ALEC COOKE was known as the Evel Knievel of surfing. A photograph taken in the 1980s of Cook surfing became one of Hawaii's best-selling postcards, with a caption that read, "The biggest wave." The man, nicknamed Ace Cool, was reportedly a descendant of British explorer Captain James Cook, who first documented surfing in the 18th century. In 2015, the surfer went surfing at night to revel in a 30-foot swell at Oahu's North Shore. When Cook didn't return to his Waialua home, his girlfriend reported him missing. Cook was never seen again, and in spite of an extensive search, his body wasn't recovered. He's believed to have drowned due to an accident, since he was considered too experienced to have simply fallen prey to the currents. Number 6. Donnie Solomon. Donnie Solomon was a talented big wave surfer and an avid supporter of the Red Cross, who encouraged others to undergo CPR and first aid training. In December of 1995, while surfing in Hawaii's Waimea Bay, Solomon had gone about 2/3 up the face of a wave. Unfortunately, the wave then broke and the surfer was thrown backwards over the lip. The impact knocked him unconscious. As he emerged from the water, efforts to revive him proved fruitless. There are several locations which, for enthusiasts and practitioners alike, have become virtually synonymous with big wave surfing. The Eddy is one of the most popular competitions, and it's held on the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii. Red Bull organizes another well-known contest in Maui at Jaws Piahi, where waves can reach between 30 and 80 feet. Mavericks, a surfing location in California, is also known for its eponymous surfing contest and enormous swells. Other coastal regions renowned for big waves can be found in Tahiti, Australia, and South Africa. However, the most sought-after location is arguably Nazaré, Portugal. An underwater canyon works in conjunction with the current to generate waves so powerful that they can shatter boards. It was there that in 2013, Garrett McNamara made history when he was towed into a wave of an estimated 100 feet. Also at Nazaré, in 2017, Brazilian surfer Rodrigo Coxa rode an 80-foot wave. Number 5. SHAWN. Shawn Dollar is a big wave legend that, in spite of taking on some tremendous swells, had his own near-death experience in 2015. In 2011 at Mavericks, Dollar paddled into a record-breaking wave of 55 feet. The following year at Cortez Bank, he improved upon his record by catching a 63 feet wave. That's nearly twice as tall as a telephone pole. Dollar's performances rivaled those of the best tow-in surfers. In 2015, however, Dollar was surfing off the coast of Central California. He suffered a devastating wipeout in waves that were larger than 25 feet. As a result, he broke his neck in 4 places and sustained a concussion. Fortunately, he still managed to reach fellow surfers, who cared for him until he was taken to a hospital. Doctors claimed it was a miracle that the surfer hadn't severed his spinal cord. Number 4. SION MILOSKY. Big wave surfer SION MILOSKY died in March of 2011 after he was caught in a massive swell at Mavericks. Measuring anywhere from 50 to 60 feet, the waves were huge even by the popular spot standards. MILOSKY was reportedly having a spectacular session, as he'd caught at least 6 waves. Unfortunately, in one of his subsequent attempts, the lip of the wave came crashing down on him. He was pushed under and another huge wave then rolled over him. The 2-wave hold down proved too much for MILOSKY. About 20 minutes later, his lifeless body was found floating at the mouth of a harbor, about a mile from the break. Waves that go beyond 50 feet are enormous walls of water that come crashing down with the force of a freight train. In a big wave wipeout, the surfer is violently spun around and can be pushed down to anywhere from 20 to 50 feet or more beneath the surface. The water pressure at such depths is enough to rupture eardrums. The surfer may also get caught in a strong rip current or get slammed into the ocean floor, thus sustaining severe and perhaps even fatal injuries. In a wipeout, the athlete sometimes has less than half a minute to regain their balance and reach the surface before the next wave hits. Being held underwater by 2 or 3 consecutive waves is one of the most dangerous aspects of the sport. A triple hold down is a dreaded scenario for big wave surfers, and a situation that's extremely difficult to survive. Number 3. Greg Long. Greg Long is known as one of the best big wave surfers in the world. He's won numerous competitions including various Red Bull events and the Quicksilver Big Wave Invitational. Long is also the most decorated surfer in the Billabong XXL Global Big Wave Awards. In 2012, Long paddled into a 50-foot wave at Cortez Bank, a spot about 100 miles off the coast of Southern California. The 34-year-old wiped out and was pushed deep underwater. His prototype inflatable life vest then failed to deploy. As he scrambled to pull on the leash and get back to his floating surfboard, 2 more waves came crashing down. Long had only survived the triple hold down due to the swift intervention of his rescue crew, who found him floating face down. He held his breath underwater for so long that his lungs bled. When he was brought into the boat, barely conscious, he coughed up blood and salt water. The surfer subsequently stated that while he recovered physically rather rapidly, the experience had changed both the way he surfed and the way he lived. Today's topic was requested by Piggy Gaming. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Todd Chesser. Todd Chesser was an influential big wave surfer who, in February of 1997, drowned off the coast of Oahu. The 28-year-old was supposed to be in Maui and perform a stunt for a movie, but decided to stay behind as the waves were picking up. He was surfing with a few of his friends at a spot called Alligator Rock, which is an outer reef to the west of Waimea. Chesser got caught in a fast-moving 25-foot wave. According to his friends, Chesser had tried to dive down and under one of the incoming waves, but was held down for too long. His friends tried to help, but another large wave separated them. Chesser was found later that day in Waimea Bay and was pronounced dead at an Oahu hospital. Survival in big wave surfing is relative to the type of risks that an athlete is willing to take and the equipment that they're working with. Chasing bigger waves would ideally imply that the practitioner is sufficiently experienced in surfing on a smaller scale. Paddle in big wave surfing requires large boards, commonly referred to as guns. Tow-in involves using a reliable personal watercraft or aircraft operator. The jet ski rider should also double as a lifeguard, ready to assist the surfer if they encounter trouble. Using a rescue sled may also prove vital. Inflatable life vests have represented a significant advancement in terms of safety. Whenever the surfer faces difficulty, they pull a cord and are rapidly brought to the surface. Opinions on the leash that connects the board to the surfer's ankle are divided. Some believe it to be essential, while others feel it can do more harm than good. Practitioners should also undergo training in breathing techniques, CPR, and emergency reaction situations. Join the They Will Kill You team by rocking the latest merch from theywillkillyou.com. Order yours today to be one of the first to spread the word. Number 1. KIRK PASSMORE. In November of 2014, KIRK PASSMORE and a few of his friends were surfing waves in the 25 to 30 foot range at Alligator Rock. In spite of the raging swell, PASSMORE wasn't wearing an inflatable flotation device, as he reportedly found them cumbersome. Former big wave champion Jamie Sterling was surfing with PASSMORE at the time. According to him, PASSMORE wiped out inside a massive wave. Sterling believed that he'd perhaps ruptured his eardrum, broken his neck, or lost his equilibrium because he emerged face down. A second wave then struck, broke PASSMORE's surfboard, and carried him away. The others stopped their session and looked for him, but his body was never recovered. Thanks for watching. Would you rather surf a 50-foot wave or free solo climb that same distance? Let us know in the comments section below.